Hello and welcome, or welcome back to our Minecraft 1.20 survival Let's Play. So today we are going to be finishing up the living quarters for our village. In the last episode we built a bunch of cute little houses, and basically we're just going to continue that today, as well as making the farm, which is basically just going to be another cute little house. Oh, hello, Iron Golem is still in the corner. But it's going to be a cute little house with also, you know, some plants and animals and such. So yeah, that's going to be super fun. So if you did watch the last video, I realized after filming that these first couple of houses did not get recorded properly. So I thought I would just show you a little bit of this just in case you were curious, although, you know, I'm sure you've seen pictures and such since anyway. But this is the first house that we built. It's pretty plain inside. But cute little fireplace, all that fun stuff. And then this house was a little bit bigger. It's the one with the raised deck. I did put a little garden in the back that apparently a cow, a pig, and an iron golem have all gotten stuck in. Welcome. And let's take a quick look on the inside. This one has a bit more space. So we did, you know, a few plants, some potted plants. The roof I think in here looks really cool. And then, of course, the spot for the bed as well, which we don't have beds in any of these houses yet. I am going to take them all from the underground, like where our villager breeder is right now, because obviously we have a bunch of beds under there and I'm not going to waste them. So I did not build any new beds for these houses yet. If we need to afterwards, we can. But for now, I am just going to leave it until we need them. So let's take a look at what we're working with over here. I think I'm going to start with the farmhouse today just to change it up a little bit, and then we can build these last few houses. We've got 1, 2, 3, only 3 more houses that we need to build over here, which is pretty good. These are all fairly large ones too, which will be fun. But this here is going to be the farmhouse. So it is quite tucked in. So it might not be super noticeable, but I think I'm going to make it quite tall. It's going to be for sure a 2-story house, whereas all of our other ones, like even this one, isn't really quite a 2-story house. And this one too, they are taller, but not quite that tall. So I think this one's going to stick out a little bit more. But the actual house itself isn't going to be too big. It's going to be this space here, and then I'd left this space open for either a garden or one of our pens. And then same with kind of back here, I was thinking we would also just have the house back into maybe the garden or the animal pens or something like that. So I think that will work out quite well. So for the color palette for this one, I was kind of thinking about reusing the green because our other greenhouse is way over there. And I do think green would kind of make a good color for the for a farmhouse, but it is kind of a dark color. So I'm not, oh boy, now we're raining. All right, well, that's all right. I'll finish this explanation in the rain. So I was kind of thinking, what if we did like kind of a cobble, mossy cobble mixed with, you know, a good amount of green, and then obviously we can do a bit of spruce for some trimming, and it is going to be kind of dark. So I'm thinking maybe I can figure out a place to put the cherry wood in there as well. It'll look a little bit, I don't know. I don't think it'll look too out of place. We've got the green, and then the pink kind of does tie in with everything else around here. We have a lot of pink in our builds, so I think this could work out quite good. All right, so right off the bat, let's put these 2 pillars that are going to be by the door as spruce. Maybe we will strip them, maybe not. I do kind of like the raw wood look a bit for this one. And then I'm trying to decide if we should do cobble for a base, or maybe we should just do it for like the roof and such. Maybe that would look a little bit better. So let's just make this green. Okay, yeah, that's not so bad. And then I'm thinking if we line the roof with the cherry wood and then fill it out with the cobble, that'll be a good way to kind of bring a little bit more lightness into this as well. So I think that's going to work out quite good. So there we've got a couple windows, we've got a doorway. We'll have to fill this out a little bit, and I think I want to do a peaked roof on the doorway as well. So I'll go ahead and start to outline the roof a little bit so we can get a better idea of what this is going to look like. Yeah, something like that is kind of what I was thinking. I do think I'm going to replace the material that's used here or clean it up a little bit, but that's just kind of the general shape there. I actually think maybe spruce planks will be a better look for this area. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I also do want to build kind of a little half, geez, I thought I was on fire for a second there, a little half like second story here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and build that in. All right, so actually, what do we think about that? So I decided to go with a second color for the top floor instead of just repeating the green to kind of brighten it up a little bit. And I kind of like it. It's a little bit different. I also switched out cobble for the trimming on this one versus cobble for the inside on this one. And then I'm thinking I'll just do the swap. I'll do cherry wood on the inside for that part of the roof. But I don't know. What do you think? It's a little bit different. I was thinking we should probably figure out a way to bring the white terracotta back down at least a little bit. Whether that is like as edging for our flower pots or something like that. That could just kind of tie it in just a little bit more. You can kind of imagine I'll put a couple dirt there with the traditional flower pots. I don't have them on me right now, but maybe that also kind of brings it in a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. I think this could work. All right, so here it is in all of its glory, all good and filled in. Let's take that down so we can take a better look. I made the back a little bit more simple without the like extended front, but I think that looks pretty good. And then I gave them a little door right here as well so they can come right out to the garden area. I think that's going to work quite well. So before we finish the outside though, I want to figure out what we're going to do for in here in terms of getting up to the second level. So I opened up the roof a little bit. This ideally would come kind of all the way across, but I got to figure out where we can put this staircase that is going to make sense. So I don't know if it's going to be this side or if it's going to be that side because we do have the door here. I do think that I would like to avoid blocking the windows if possible, so I wonder if we kind of had it coming up around here, and we did say we started the staircase there, what would that look like? Obviously we would need to turn it coming this way, and then it would come out, yeah, okay, actually that could work really well. Ideally I would be able to pull this out one more, and then we could have a landing there instead of this weird like curved staircase, but then it would interfere directly with the door. So unless we wanted to put the door right on the edge, which we can take a look at what that looks like, but I think it might look kind of strange. Actually, no, I guess that's not so bad. Let's try this. There, how about something like that? So we could do, I don't know, we could do a little something in the nook over here. This could even be like the bedroom nook, and we could put a bed up there. And then, yeah, this is perfect. And then we can walk all the way up. So let's see where we can put the floors continuing here. Okay, so what if we went ahead and opened it up like that? We kind of get a nice little loft-looking situation here. We can head up the side, and this is a perfect little space. We can basically just put a little bed and a little table up here, and I think that's gonna be good. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off the outside here with all of our typical decorations. So we'll put a couple of planters there, as I had mentioned. I think that looks quite good with the little shelves on the side. And then we can actually use those shelves to put up some lights, I'm thinking, so that we can save this center thing right here for our sign. Right, farm goods. I'm not too creative with naming, but I think that works quite good. And then, yeah, I think that's gonna be perfect for the front. Of course, what's the harm in just adding one more little light right at the top? So this side here is going to be bumping up right against this house, so I think I'm just going to give the window some shutters. And then on the back here, I think I'm just going to hang a couple of lanterns, and that should be pretty much good enough. Maybe we'll see. I'll build the fences first and see if we need any like flower pots back here, but I might just make this kind of look more like an actual garden back here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tear down our kind of temporary wall here. And I'm going to put up some fencing. I think both the farm and the animal area can both be basically just enclosed by kind of fencing. All right, so there is our fencing. I was kind of debating, this one is a lot bigger than this one, but I actually think technically for villagers it's probably more advantageous to have more food and less animals. So this one might be for animals. And that one will be the actual garden. We'll just need to get some gates to put in. But for this little area right out front here, I was thinking we could do like a cute little like flower garden maybe. So what if we did some coarse dirt, just even a kind of a 3x3 little plot here. And then we could plant like a little rose garden on this side. Something like that. I think that looks kind of cute and intentional. And then on this side, we could do peonies. And then we could always just do something kind of along the edge on this side. And then I actually think it might make sense to just move the gates over by one so that it kind of feels a little bit more centered to the gardens here. And then for this row back here, I'm thinking maybe I'll go back out into the forest there and collect some tulips. I was thinking maybe sunflowers, but they would be facing that direction instead of towards us when we walk back here. And I don't know, I don't think that'll look so good. So tulips are a little bit sparse, but I think they'll still look kind of cute. There we go, like that. I do wish you could like kind of crowd these flowers a little bit more, but I don't know. I think it looks okay. It looks kind of like they're still growing. And the rest of these I'm just going to place in our little pots here that we made. All right, the gates are in, and apparently at some point I stole this guy's leads. I don't even know how I did that, unless they just got stuck somewhere and they automatically broke off and I accidentally picked them up, because I do not actually know. I don't even really know how to take the leads off of these guys, other than I know the boat trick, but I did not put them in a boat. I still ended up with their leads, so I guess that's a win. All right, so in this farm area here, I'm going to go ahead and make some land. I'm going to put a little hole for some water, and then, yeah, I'll put down the composters as well. I'm not 100% sure where I want to put them yet, but I think I'm just going to kind of put them in the middle, maybe even over top of the water source, something like that. All right, so here I was just kind of playing around with this a little bit, but I think it would be really cute to do a sort of little stand here where the farmers can hang out. I got the garden kind of all the way around, so just thinking we could do a couple of little shelves here to build it out a little bit, just like that. And then I was also thinking we should maybe plant a few flowers just kind of in this dead zone here, just to make it look a little bit better. Maybe the grass will grow a little bit here as well. And then I think I'm going to put a roof on this, kind of make it look like a proper little tiny market stand, a little bit different than our other ones, but I think it could look good with some of the like mossy cobble from the other side as well. Yeah, just something small like that for them to come and hang out in. I think that's going to be perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and kind of sprinkle in a bunch of seeds here. We obviously need to, harvest a few more seeds. I turned all of my seeds into bone meal, so that doesn't really help us out too much, but I think this is good enough to start with. And then on this side, I'm thinking let's just keep it simple. We'll fill it up with animals, and I'll bone meal the ground a bit so that it looks a little bit more natural in here. Something like that, and then we'll kind of just lead all of them in here. But I was thinking for the shepherds, because I also want, I want the farmers and the shepherds in here, obviously. I think maybe we'll just keep them inside the house. Might be a good place for them. We'll kind of set up a little shop here in the corner for them so that all we need to go all the way in for is the actual farmers. So I also had another idea. I mean, obviously we don't need to be too ridiculously hyper realistic here, but what if we just sort of blocked off this area here? Just, something like that. We put a little door here, and then basically it led to their bedroom so that, when guests are coming in or customers are coming in, I suppose, they can basically ignore that side and come straight over here. And then we can do the loom over here on this side. So we can just put it, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, something like that. And then just do a little shelf coming out this way. Just something like that. I think that's perfectly nice and easy. And then let's look at decorating it up just a little bit in here. So the bedroom, I think we'll kind of leave. We'll do 2 beds right there. And then maybe we'll do like a little table in the corner over here just to add a little something. And then we can do maybe even just a house plant on this side. Yeah, something like that. I think that looks pretty good. And then up from this bedroom, let's just do a quick little table like always. And then we'll just put the bed there, and I think that's going to be pretty good because you got to walk up here anyway, so I don't want to make it too crowded up here. And then I brought a couple of signs so we can kind of put one at the front here and say, I don't know, just like wool and cloth. It's not, quite right, but that works. And then I wanted to put a sign up here somewhere as well, but maybe I need to actually grab my hanging sign and just kind of put it right up there. I think that might look a little better, right? Yeah, that's gonna look way better than that sign. But I do think that I want to do something in this corner. I think maybe just like a plant of some sort will look good there. And then maybe we'll do something similar up here as well. Just something like that. I think that looks good. Add a little bit of color up here. I got our hanging sign, so we can add that right here. I made a spruce door for here so that they can have a little privacy. And just to make sure, I was thinking it could be kind of fun to just add a little staff only sign to the top here. Just in case, you know, any of the visitors have any questions about that. All right, and there is our cute little farmhouse. Really, we're just missing a couple of sheep, but I don't really want to go on too much of an adventure to find them, so I'm just going to kind of wait for some to pop up around here. Oh, actually, now that I can see one, there's one right there. So I'm going to wait for that one to come down, and I'm sure a couple others will spawn around here as well, so I will lead them in as needed. But yeah, look at that. I think this one is pretty cute, and I think it's going to work out quite well. So let's move on and finish up these last few houses. All right, now for this next house, I'm thinking we need to bring back in, I don't know, something a little bit more neutral. I don't know. I was debating on whether or not we should bring a whole other color into this town. I kind of originally just picked pink, like yellow and green as sort of like to keep the palette a little bit, you know, I don't know, not neutral, but you know what I mean? Just to kind of stick to a palette. The more I'm looking at it, I do wonder if we're going to have to add in another color here, just because it does seem a little bit, I don't know, like too much. Like, what are we going to do here, right? So I'm thinking for a house here, we kind of have to go with something that's not pink, yellow, or green, because it's right next to the pink, the yellow, and the green, and another pink right there. And then this one's kind of the same thing. It's right by the pink and the green. And then over here, I'm sure we can come back to even, you know, this one we could maybe do a yellow, and then way over here we could probably go back to like a white. So for this house, I'm thinking maybe we will just keep it a little bit more neutral. It's going to look very similar to this one behind it, but I think since they're separated by lanes, we might not notice too much. So I'm going to try with this like gray terracotta again. I'm going to do spruce lining the roof, so it will be a little bit different than that. And then I'm going to do the black stone on the inside. And yeah, I think that should be okay. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so there's the base before the roof. I think that looks pretty decent. Essentially, I decided to put a porch underneath, or like the kind of the raised thing like that one. So they've got a tiny bit of a porch. The stairs are going to be right here. It's not going to be as big as that one, and the house does come to the sides. But I think that's going to work okay. I was thinking about trying the pink, the cherry wood trapdoors underneath, just like against the edge here as sort of like latticing. You know how you kind of see lattices sometimes underneath porches like that? I think that could look kind of nice. So I'm going to try that out. And then, yeah, I think that should be pretty good. For the roof, like I mentioned, I'm going to do blackstone trim, I think. And then, yeah, and then the spruce wood filling. So it's not exactly like this one, because I do think the cherry wood would look okay. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I'm wondering if it's going to look too close to the other ones if I use it. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. All right, and she is surrounded by iron golems, but here she is. So I think this looks pretty good. I did end up bringing in a little bit more pink than I had originally anticipated, but I think it fits quite well because we do want it to sort of, you know, we want it to blend in with the other houses, look like it belongs here, but not be too similar. So I think we got that point across quite well. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple of little things here and there, like the lantern in front of the door. I think that looks good. And then I wanted to add a planter out front here. And then I think in this little hole here, it would make sense if we just had one of our potted plants. But I think I'm going to grab the green leaves for that. We'll save the pink ones for the inside. And I think on this window over here, I'm just going to do a couple of shelves, and then we can do like a potted plant there and another lantern. All right, so for the inside, we've got a little bit, we don't have a ton of space on the inside of this one, but I think that's okay. We'll do the bed in the corner here, along with a little table as per usual. And then, of course, we'll give them a nice little dining table. I'm thinking we'll face it this way, just like that. I don't think that's too in the way when you come in. And then, since the bed's going to be right there, we have a space. I think I'm going to put a floor plant here. Actually, no, I don't think that works because it totally blocks that chair. So what we can do is we can put our potted plant on a shelf because we don't really ever do that. So let's see. Since we've got such high ceilings in this one, what if we put a set of shelves kind of above the windows there, and then we can do what we would normally do on the floor, but we can put it on the shelf instead. All right, there. I'm thinking something just like that. I kind of got a bit of a mix of the shelves just because I wanted to use up, the pieces that we have. I think that just kind of looks a bit more unique. I think that provides plenty of lighting in here. And then I had a couple of spaces here. I just thought I would fill them out with these bushes. It looks maybe a little funny there, but I think if I brought a vine down, at least off of that one, maybe it would look a little bit better. I don't know. We won't ever really be able to see that anyway. So I think this works perfectly fine for a tiny interior. All right, and there it is with all of the overgrown planters and everything. All right, so for this next one here, I'm thinking we go back to yellow. We've got a yellow one way over there, and then our other yellow one you can't even see from here. So I think it's going to go perfectly right here. And then I'm thinking about using the cherry logs like I did here as the kind of edging of this one. I think that'll look good. I might not pop it out like it's showing here, but just as the actual corners. I think that could look quite nice. And then I'm thinking for the roof, just doing spruce, like lining, and then stone on the inside. I think that's going to be, I don't know. I think it's a fairly simple palette, but it's got a few different things in it, so I think this will work. All right, so I decided to play around with the front even a little bit more, and this is what I came up with. I think this is going to work quite well. I think that's quite nice. So I'm thinking we can do like the peaked roof on that one and then a sideways peaked roof on the rest of it. I think that's going to look quite nice. All right, there she is so far. I decided to put a chimney on this side since it was looking directly into this house anyway, so I don't think a window would make too much sense. I think that looks pretty good there. And then this house, I'll probably just bump over a little bit more or make it a little bit smaller. It doesn't need to be anything too big, but I wanted to come into here because we need to figure out exactly how to get this fireplace to work so that I can get just a couple more yellow blocks because I'm missing like 2. I might have to fill that out honestly with spruce if I can't, if I'm not getting any blocks from here, but we are just very close to having almost enough blocks. So kind of taking a look, I think we can definitely get rid of this. I mean, I would like to put the fireplace in there, but the floor on this side is actually raised. So unless, yeah, I don't think it's going to make any sense. We're going to have to do like at least half of this on this level, and then we can maybe bring down and do a little bit over there too. I think that would make the most sense. Which means that our fireplace is going to be sticking out a little bit, which is fine. But I do think that it'll be fine to kind of leave all of that exposed. And we also, yeah, we do need some down here, so that's fine. Okay, there, that is perfect. One little window at the top there, and we have just enough yellow concrete, so that is perfect. All right, there we go. Our very uneven fireplace. It looks nice and even on the inside, and it looks even in a very different way from the outside, but you know what, this is Minecraft. This doesn't have to actually work, does it? So I think that works out quite good. And it is right when you walk in, but that's all right. Just kind of keeping it nice and warm and cozy in here. And then it is kind of a bit of a waste of space with this little step down here, but I think that's all right. Down here is where we can put the bed. I'm thinking maybe this house we just don't do like the table and chair that we always do, and then we just put the bed in the middle, and then we can just do a couple of end tables. That is an option, or we do want a table here, the bed in the corner. I don't know if that'll look a little bit cramped. Actually, you know what? Sure, let's give them what they want. We'll give them the little table and chairs here. And then we can put the bed in the corner, and maybe we just won't give it an end table. Instead, we'll do kind of that over the bed shelving that we've done before. So I think this corner would be a good place for one. And then we could actually put something a little bit decorative on the ground here if we just raised that up by 1. I think that could work quite well. And we can do, oh, I need to make some more pots, but we could do one of our potted plants there. I think that would look good. And then maybe on that shelf there, we'll do a lantern. Actually, no, I think because we have the perfect space here to hang lanterns. So what if we hang 2 lanterns there? I think that works a little bit better. And then we can do a potted plant on that one. There, just like that. Some simple indoor decoration, but I actually think this house looks quite nice. Now for the outside, we've got a little bit of space here. So I'm thinking, where should we hang our lantern? We could hang it on the inside here, so it's a little bit hidden, but still lights up the front door. I think that looks okay. And then I was actually thinking, what if we have one yellow concrete left. So what if we did a little stand here? And we did one of our potted bushes there. I think that could look kind of nice. Now, I was also thinking maybe for the front here, instead of that planter that we always do, we'll do shelves. And we can put a couple potted plants on that one. And then we'll do those more traditional planters in front of these 2 windows at the back here. All right, and there she is in all her glory and the morning sunrise. I added a little bit more detailing in here with the fencing. Other than that, nothing really. Just filled in the plants, pots, and all of that fun stuff. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Now for this last house here, I think I'm going to keep it quite small. Honestly, I think maybe I will, I'll do it right to there so that the roofs are basically like almost touching and not quite. And I was thinking, the only other fun thing I was thinking was maybe we'll do another side entrance on this one, similar to what we did over here, how you kind of like walk up the side of the house. It's only going to be a 1-story one. It's not going to be as big as this one, but I just thought that'd be a cute little touch. And as for colors, I'm thinking we go colorful, right like in view here. So I think maybe what we'll do, we also have from this view, we have bright yellow, bright pink, and then this little guy. I think I'm going to do just the white terracotta if I have any left. We'll see if I have enough left. But my idea is white terracotta and just spruce. All right, so I indeed do not have much white terracotta left at all, but I think I could still make this work. So I'm thinking, what if I did spruce wood as the base as well? That way we have less height. Let's try that out first. All right, so I indeed do not have nearly enough white terracotta, but luckily we can make some. We've got plenty of terracotta left and plenty of bone meal to make some white dye. All right, there is our general shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the roof. All right, so now all we need is the decorations. I ended up swapping out the spruce here for the light gray terracotta, and I actually think that gives kind of a neat effect. Just a little bit of a color difference there. I don't know, I think it looks quite good. So I was thinking we could do a little fence. Get out of here, please. Thank you. Just around their walkway here, just to make it look a little bit more intentional. I think that looks okay. And then maybe underneath this window here, we'll do shelving just to make it a little bit different. And then we can do the planter on this one. And then we can just kind of green it up a little bit with a couple of bushes here and there. And for the inside here, I'm thinking we can do table in this corner, bed in this corner. Why not? I think that sounds simple enough. Maybe we'll give them some pink chairs for their table just to mix it up a little bit and use up some more of our cherry wood stairs. I think that looks pretty good. And then instead of a night table, since we have a light right there, I'm thinking we'll do a little plant right beside the bed. And for a very last touch on this side, I'm thinking I'll just put a couple of shelves right by the door there and add in a couple of pots and a couple of bushes just to make it look cute from this angle as well. And there it is, our very last villager house. So really the last step here before we release the villagers, because we will be releasing the villagers today as well, so that we can really see what it looks like once they're all living in here, is to kind of finish up this pathway. So I started with a little bit of moss here because I wanted to get some bushes, but I think I'm just going to do basically what I did for these sections as well, just kind of a mixed cobble, mossy cobble, spruce, and path. And I didn't really do too much on the edges here, but I guess there's not a lot of room. I didn't want to cover the houses too much. But yeah, I think it's going to work well. I might need to get a few more of these flowers, or maybe I'll just bone meal them so that they duplicate. And that should work out quite good. All right, so let's get the full effect. I'm just going to start right back at the beginning of the village and walk you through from the front here towards our final street. So here we can start to see the houses. This also gives me a good little look to make sure that I didn't, forget to decorate a wall or something like that. So here it is. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, pretty plain, kind of look like the other one. I did add one lantern here because I thought we had just enough space for it, and I think it looks pretty good, or street light, or whatever you want to call this. But yeah, that is our final village street. So I don't know. I guess that's it. So the last thing that we really need to do in this village is going to be the big library, which is going to be up here. That's going to be a really fun build. Obviously, it's not going to be in this episode, but I am looking forward to that. And I can't believe this village project is already almost done. If you have any other suggestions and stuff, definitely let me know in the comments. But yeah, that is kind of really all I had planned for it anyway. So I think it's looking pretty good. Now, last step for today, of course, is to get the villagers up here. So I'm going to go ahead down there. I'm going to take out all their beds, give them a good way to come up, put the beds in the houses, and then I will come and show you what it looks like once they're actually all wandering around. I don't know how long it's going to take them for, to like path find their way out of there, but hopefully it won't be too bad. All right, it is a beautiful sunny morning here in the village. The wandering trader is even coming through to maybe sell some of his goods to our merchants. And it looks like everybody is just getting to work. So we've got a couple of fishermen here. These are, I think, new fishermen. I don't know. I know we had a few wandering around when we were building, but they all kind of disappeared. I'll have to, I don't know 100% what I want to trade for the fishermen. I was thinking, I don't know if they will ever buy fish. It looks like this one buys coal and that one buys string, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think that's going to be super useful to us. Somebody else buys coal anyway, so I'm not sure about that. But we've also got our stonemason over here. This one I think we could make some use out of, particularly for buying brick, because making a bunch of brick out of clay is just ridiculous to me. It always takes so much work to find that much clay, so we might use that. And then we've got our butcher, which we will have to trade this. I think I want a butcher that's going to buy probably like our cow meat and maybe the pork chop as well. But we don't really have chickens, so I don't think that's super useful to us, but that's okay. We'll re-roll them later. And the last little market stand we've got in the quad here is the Fletcher. So this one buys sticks, which is kind of cool. I mean, sticks are fairly easy to get. And then this one, you can sell gravel for flint. That's kind of interesting, but not very useful to us. So I might reroll them a few times as well, just to see what else we can get. And then let's head into potions and poisons and see if we've got anybody working here yet. Oh, it does not look like it. Darn it. That's all right. Maybe they will come in a little later. There's somebody wandering around outside. Is that somebody who works here? Sir, your door is on the other side. Oh, this is a leather worker because we have a cauldron in there. That's actually pretty good. Selling leather for emeralds, I think, will also be quite useful to us. I mean, we have a cow farm, so we kind of might as well. Why are you trying to get in this way? There is definitely a wall there, isn't there? Go around the other side, please. Maybe I should give them a back door. Unfortunately, no cleric yet, though. Hopefully they will, hopefully they'll come wandering in here. If the leather worker did, that means that they definitely can map their way into this place, so that should be good. And then let's check the armor, tools, and weapons shop. Let's see who's in here. Oh, it looks like we've got a few people. All right, so we've got our toolsmith. Okay, so he also buys coal, which is less, though, right? The fisherman bought 10 coal for 1 emerald, which is kind of interesting. And this guy does pickaxes. So if I remember correctly, the toolsmith will do, like, if he's selling a pickaxe right now, that means later on he'll sell a diamond pickaxe, I believe, which is not a bad one. I mean, a pickaxe or an axe, really, either of those two things would be useful to us. Honestly, I might even get a couple of them and have like one each if they only sell one or the other. So I think that could be good. We might have to lock that guy in. And then our weaponsmith, I think, sells axes, actually. Okay, interesting. I wonder if he'll sell diamond axes later on. That could be useful as well. And an unbreaking sword. Not bad. Not bad. And do we have an armorer? Okay, I don't see our armorer hanging around, so maybe we do not have one of those yet either. Our villagers, I did add a bunch of extra beds in the village compared to what they had underground, so they will probably be breeding. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about it, but I guess we'll just have to wait until somebody claims that job. So let's wander on up into the residential area of the village, see who's kind of hanging out around here today. I don't really see too many people. Yeah, I really don't see anybody want. Oh, there's somebody. You're jobless. Go and take one of the open jobs. All right, let's go and hang out. Or let's go check out the farm goods. All right, so everybody is piled up in the corner here. Why, I'm not sure, but we've got our shepherd. Okay, black and gray wool he will buy. It's not bad. We have some black sheep and some gray sheep. We could definitely lock that in. Are you stuck? I didn't make this village very villager friendly, did I? All right. Well, let's check out our farmers. So we've got 2 of them here. And then I'm not sure where our 3rd farmer went. Is it the end of the workday or are you all heading home? All right, everybody's kind of heading home, but that's all right. Oh, we also have a bunch of iron golems stuck in the animal pen. How did you even get in there? I thought I made it so that you couldn't accidentally end up in here. I guess they're animal keepers now. All right, so here are 2 of our farmers. Ooh, we've got carrots and beets. That's going to be super useful to us. And wheat and potatoes. Wow, okay. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead. I actually brought a bunch of my stuff, so we can sell those 2. And then I think the farmer hopefully will also buy melons and pumpkins. So we might need one more farmer if like one buys melons and one buys pumpkins, but I really like those 2 trades, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock both of them in. I brought a bunch of the farm goods over already. Okay, so you are the carrots and beets guy. I'm gonna go ahead and sell you a bunch of carrots. Perfect. And then you must be the wheat and potatoes. Yep. All right. There we go. So we should have locked both of them in now that we've traded once. I don't think you have to level them up. I think you just need to trade once. And then they will be locked in. So that's perfect. And I thought I saw another farmer hanging out by the bell down here, although everybody's kind of dispersing now. So we might... Oh yeah, there he is. Let's see. Oh, this is a farmer that we already traded with a bunch. Okay, maybe this is one of the original farmers from the village, which is great. He does buy pumpkins and melons, so no worries about that. He also does the beets and carrots, so we really didn't need the other guy, but that's okay. All right, looks like all the farmers are going to work, so I'm gonna go ahead and trade. Basically, well, I didn't bring literally everything that we had in our storage, but I brought everything that I could. So let's see what these guys... Who are you? Oh, this is a different one. Potatoes and bread. Okay, interesting. So you're our carrots and beets guy, so I'm going to go ahead. All right, there we go. We got a whole ton of emeralds, and we managed to get rid of most of our fruits and veggies, so that's perfect. I'll have to bring some stuff for the shepherd, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. I will, however, go ahead and maybe lock in some of these guys. So do you still sell... Yeah, an axe and an iron sword, so I think that's pretty good. I'll go ahead and purchase an axe. Why not? And then, yeah, this guy does the stone pickaxe, which I think will then be the iron pickaxe and then hopefully a diamond pickaxe later on. So I'll go ahead and just get this to lock that in, and then maybe I'll come and trade him a bunch of coal. I'm pretty sure we have a bunch of extra coal anyway. Oh, and we have an armorer already. Perfect. So this guy sells chest plates and boots. I'm not sure if eventually they're going to sell the whole set of, you know, everything, the diamond and the iron and everything. But I think that's okay. I'll go ahead and we're going to have to do the trades, I think, in order to get this guy leveled up anyway, but maybe I'll try rerolling him once just to see what the other options are. Oh, and he immediately just no longer wanted to be an armorer after I did that. And I think he went in here, so is he going to become a cleric? Oh, did you just come to become another leather worker? I thought we already had one. All right, well, hopefully somebody's going to come in here and decide to be a cleric as well. Ah, somebody immediately took his job anyway, so perfect. Okay, so this guy's got a helmet and chest plate. Let's try one more time. And leggings and boots. Okay, so they'll sell 2 sets. So I think chest plate and leggings, right? Because would be the best combo if they have that, since those are the most expensive ones to make. But I guess also they'll probably be the most expensive to purchase, but definitely chest plate, so this isn't gonna work. All right, and it looks like they've all given up on me for the day, so yeah. That's fantastic. All right, well, I am going to let them go about their business. Looks like they're having their little town meeting tonight. And I'm just going to end the episode here. If you guys have any suggestions for kind of what I should lock in for each of the villagers, let me know. The farmers are obviously pretty straightforward. Same with the librarians when we built the library, but the other one, a lot of the other ones are kind of up for debate. I think the armorer Obviously, I'll try to get a good chest plate and probably legs from him. If that's a possible combination, I'll play around with it a little bit later on. And then, yeah, we've got at least one weaponsmith, and then one toolsmith that currently has the pickaxe available. So I'll level them up over time as well. Probably just waste a bunch of emeralds to get them leveled up, because we have a good farm going anyway. So I think that should be fine. And yeah, that is generally the plan. All right, so last but not least, I will give you a little fly-through tour of everything that we built today and the village as a whole, now that it's, coming to be pretty complete. Obviously, our next big build is going to have to be the library. I've mentioned it a couple of times. We're going to need to gather a lot of resources for that one. I think it's going to be a really fun big build, and we used up a lot of what we've already got building this village so far. So the next episode, I think it's going to be more exploration and gathering, which I think will be fun. We can do, a fun little cozy exploration like the very first episode. And I'm really looking forward to that. And then really looking forward to getting that library built as well. I think it might even be, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll be able to finish it. Maybe it'll be 2 parts. I'm not even sure yet. We'll have to see. But yeah, of course, give me any suggestions, questions, comments in the comment section below, and I will talk to you in the next one.